Good day, all. My name is Hope. I would love to share some of the lessons I learned from man's indoctrination. Day 10. During the course of the study, we looked at man and the two kinds of being a man, a true believer, is meant to have. And the preacher was able to define man as one created by God in his own likening image that is given dominion over all other animals. And in the book of 2 Peter chapter 4 verse 16 and 18, there Paul was trying to differentiate the two kind of being a true believer have. And now, as a man, we have two kind of being, the inward being and the outward being. Now there in 2 Peter chapter 4 verse 16, Paul was trying to tell us that the outward being is, which is this body that is perishable, and it can get old, it can age, and can be weakened. But in that same chapter, Paul said the inward being is renewed daily. And then also the preacher went further to tell us how to know if we still have both being complete, because there are some people that their inward being, that they don't have the inward being, that their inward being has been changed into a beastly kind of being, and they only have the outward being, as 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 12 has said, that their inward being is now a kind of beastly form. Now, when one have the inward being, one of the signs is that you get delighted in fulfilling the law, in keeping to God's promises. There's this kind of joy you feel you have to obey and to keep all the commandments God has asked us to. As the book of Psalm chapter 40 verse 8 has told us, that there is this delight, it gives us delight to fulfill when one fulfills the commandment of God, most especially the one that he said we should love one another, we should do good to our fellow men. And also in 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5, one of the things we are to do is to examine ourselves, because for us to really know if we still have this inward being in us, we should always examine ourselves. We should be able to tell ourselves the truth. Because when you don't have love for your fellow men, when you hate people around you, when you feel joy in doing evil things, when you feel joy in doing wicked things to your fellow men, you should be, at that time, you should be able to examine yourself. I know that you're beginning to lose your inward being, and try to draw yourself, to adjust yourself again. Try to examine yourself and be able to take correction, be able to draw yourself, because by when we have love in us, we should, our inward being is intact, so we should be able to examine ourselves so that we can make corrections, so that we don't get lost completely. Also, we should not just be looking at our, some people only really like take care of their outward being. They can beautify their outward being. That's in the Bible, they said is adorn. They can adorn their outward being without even taking care of their inward being. Meanwhile, God has prohibited us from adorning our outward being. He said that we should rather look at our inside. We should rather prepare ourselves inside. We should not just adorn only our outward being, and feeling that God does not look at the outside, that He looks at the inside. As people always say, we should rather look at our hearts. We should also look at our heart, and at the same time, we should try not to adorn too much our outward being. In taking care of our outward being, we should just adorn it modestly. Let everything that we wear, everything that we put on to beautify ourselves, be in a modest kind of, and rather let us try to work on our inward being. Let us try to consider love, because the Bible prohibits us from adorning our outward being, most especially the ladies. we should try to be able to, in whatever we are dressing, in whatever we want to adorn our physical being, we should adorn it in a way that it will be modesty. Let us not show up. Let us not um, go out naked. Let us not, whatever dressing we are doing, let us dress in kind of a modest way. That was what we learned in that mass indoctrination day 10, and so many more. I also want to thank you for listening. God bless you. And you can keep listening. And also, if you have opportunity, if you have the chance, you can also join us. God bless you. Thank you.